Hello, I'm Christopher Gavarecki, Customer Compliance Manager here at Hub Truck Rental. I'm here to show you how to do a proper pre-trip inspection, which must be done before the truck starts rolling. It's vital for the driver safety, public safety. It's also a requirement by the FMCSA. And it's also the easiest way to avoid receiving a roadside violation, whether being pulled in at a weigh station or being pulled over by a state trooper. Look over your truck, check the tires, check the lights. I'm going to proceed to show how it's done. I have over 20 years in the transportation industry, and 3/4 of that time is spent behind the wheel of one of these babies. Okay, so I'm going to start to show you how to do pre-trip. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is go into the engine compartment. Okay, so I've already unlatched the engine compartment or the hood. First thing I'm going to do is look over any important aspects, hoses, belts. Want to make sure there's no leakages, no broken belts. Most importantly, we're going to check the oil. So, right here, oil. And the oil's good. A little dirty, but it's good. It's right underneath the line. So we know we're good on the oil. Okay? We want to look over all of our fluids, making sure everything's at adequate level. Ready to overflow right now. That's at the low line, you're good. Look for any belts. Rock your steering, make sure there's no excess play. And while you're here, you're going to look at any broken rods or axles. Front axle, make sure there's no cracks. If cracks is an out of service violation. We're going to go to the other side. We want to check our hoses. You squeeze them, okay, as long as the engine's cold, of course. Make sure everything looks good. I mean, we look good here. We are a full service company, so generally you shouldn't have problems, but things do happen. Always look over the engine. Make sure there's no oil pouring out from underneath it, no antifreeze leaking. Also, we're going to look at shocks, frame, axle. No leaks, no cracks. If it's at nighttime, grab a flashlight. And everything looks okay here. Nothing broken. Okay. So we're good to go, and the next step, we're going to go in the cab, we start the truck, check everything, make sure everything's working okay. Instrument lights, the gauges. So let's go. Alright, so now of course we're in the interior of the truck, and I'm going to start by filling out my driver inspection report. This is pretty much a standard form. You want to fill this out, put in the date, time, tractor number. In this case, we have a straight truck. It's not a tractor, so you're only going to fill out the tractor portion, no trailer. You're only going to the things we just looked at before, we did not find any defects, so we don't have to check anything on these specific items. So after we fill all this in, we're going to proceed to start the truck, and we're going to look at the gauges. We're going to make sure we have good air pressure, front and rear. DEF levels is fine. We got a full tank of fuel. The idling okay, no alarms. Next, we're going to check our signals, right, left, okay, our lights, brights, horn, steering wheel, and also if you have a secondary horn, you want to check that as well. Okay, also your wipers, make sure they work, high and low, washers. Okay, also you're going to want to check and close the door. Check your mirrors, you got no cracks, windows look good. I have a clear view of the windshield, no cracks in my line of sight, it's clean. Okay, the next thing you want to check is your heater, your AC, and your defroster. They will check all these things for roadside inspection. Blower's working, heater's working, Also, the next major thing you want to check for is this truck is equipped with air brakes. What we do is look at the gauges. There should be a warning light and also an audible and alarm. Okay. Shut the truck off. Leave the key on the on position. With your foot on the brake, push in the emergency brake. Now we're going to look through the leak down test. By releasing the brake pressure by repeatedly. There's the audible and there's the visual. So we're going to start the truck back up, build up air pressure. So now we're going to do the outside walk around of the vehicle. First thing we want to look for, lights. Most common violation. Don't let a $2 bulb become a $200 ticket. Okay? So we're going to make sure our lights work. Our side marker light is flashing. That's flashing. Headlights are on. You can check your, of course you can check your high beams when you're outside at night, or during the day you should also see a flash. If your indicator's working, your high beams are working. Look at the body lights. Top of the cab, they're working. Top of the cargo box, they're working. Okay, we're going to continue to walk around, look for all the lights to work. It's very simple to do. Just want to make sure you have a good walk around. I'm going to start checking our tires. I have a little rod here. I use it as a tire thumper. All right, so basically the rule of thumb is when you hit the tire and it bounces, the tire's fully inflated. You can also visually look at it's inflated, but you want to just be sure. Okay? Practice on the front. It's more important to do this on the rear tires, and I'll show you in a minute. Next thing we're going to do is look at the wheel. We'll make sure there's no visible cracks in the wheel. All the lug nuts are secure. Okay? You don't want to see any grease oozing out from this little cover here. That could be a violation as well. Okay, we look good here, no cracks. Look at the tires, no gauge, no gouges, no rips, no tears. We look good. Tread depth is adequate. Look good there. Okay, we'll continue. Side steps, make sure they're secure. Look at their battery box, which is located right here. Make sure that the cover is okay. Tanks, for your air tanks, they're secure. As you're walking around, make sure your lights, make sure they're working. Okay, that one's good. Next here, we will start looking at our frame. Okay, this thing here, this concerns me. See, that's loose. That's a violation. Okay, that's why you do a pre-trip. That hanging like that shouldn't be. Next one, that's tight. Look at the frame, make sure there's no visible cracks. Okay. Leaf springs, make sure there's no cracks. That's an out of service violation. Okay, now, our thumper. The reason why we use the thumper, not necessarily the front tires are basic. Your inside tire, you want to make sure it bounces. See how it bounces? If it was flat, we can get any bounce. Best you can, look at your tread. Make sure, most of these trucks run recaps on the rear. Make sure there's no tread separation, okay? Same with the outside. Bounce it again. Bounce is good. We want to make sure there's no visible tears. The tread looks good as well. We're going to look at the tires. Make sure there's no cracks. Okay? Make sure everything is secure. It's pretty much common sense. Continue to look at the leaf spring as much as you can. Also, mud flaps. Make sure they're secure. Also, you want to look for leaks. Rear axle. Make sure there's no fluid pouring out of it. There's no visible leaks there. Could be a violation. Continue to check your body bolts. Frame looks good. All right, let's continue to the back. We're going to look for our back lights. Okay, see they're flashing. Okay, rear lights are on. It's hard to see, but I can see that they're on. It is a bright sun reflecting on them, but it is working. Now, common sense. Check your door. Make sure it rolls up. You're going to be using this a lot. Make sure it's working okay. This one seems to be okay. Also your lift gate. If so equipped, look down. Make sure there's no hydraulic fluid leaking. If this lift gate gets stuck in the down position, this truck is not moving. All right. It is a serviceable item, but you don't want to get stuck for hours at a time. So let's look. Make sure it's going to go up and down. Do the release, safety release. Down, up. We look good. Make sure you put the release back on. Okay, take the steps. They're secure. This is your all your housing for your hydraulic lift gate. This is the motor and all the hydraulic fluid. Make sure this box is secure. Okay, there's 2 bolts on top. You want to make sure that's secure. Mud flap is secure. Continue to look at the frame. Make sure there's no cracks, no abnormalities. We're going to hit this body bolt. That's okay. Thump the tires. Outside's good. Inside. A lot of people miss inspecting the inside. Now if this lets go, you can also take this tire with it. So you want to check your inside tire. Okay. Look as best as you can. No visible wear. I don't see any tread separation there. Outside of this tire looks good. No gouges. No cords showing through. No visible signs of tread separation. Check your leaf spring as well. Okay. Leaf spring, no cracks. Right. Also looking for leaks. Right, we're going to look at the body bolt. You bang them. Okay. Side step. Make sure that's secure. It'll hold you up. If you have a side door, make sure it's locked, it's closed. Make sure it opens and closes. You're going to be using this. Make sure it works. Fuel tank. Make sure it's secure. No leakage. Okay, we're going to go. As we're looking at the truck, don't forget, you're going to have marker lights. There's also a marker light there. That's working. It's kind of hard to tell in the sun, but it is on. I can see it. Marker light's working. Take our side step. DEF tank. Now most trucks have an indicator on the dash, but there's also a fluid level indicator on the tank as well in this particular truck. Make sure you have DEF. Run out of DEF, this truck will go into lit mode. You'll run 5 miles an hour. Make sure you're good on DEF. Make sure you have no leaks. Okay, we're also going to check the front tire. We know it's secure. It's not on the ground, it's not flat, but I thump it anyway. It's fun to do. Look at your rim, make sure there's no visible cracks. Okay? That's pretty much what they're going to look for in your truck. All right, you want to make sure it's common sense, lights, tires, frames, mounting bolts, mounting brackets. You want to make sure there's nothing flopping around. But one thing I forgot to mention, make sure your paperwork in the truck is up to date. If it is a rental truck, make sure you have your rental agreement. If you're a leasing customer and you have an extra truck, make sure you have a rental agreement in it. Because if you don't have, you have your own DOT number and you're using ours, that could be a violation. Have a copy of the rental agreement. Okay, anything after 30 days, you have to have a DOT number, your own DOT number placed on the truck. Make sure your registration is in the truck, insurance card, all your necessary paperwork. Make sure it's all up to date. Okay, so that's our pre-trip inspection, and I hope the video helped you. Generally, it should take about 15 to 20 minutes to do. It took me a little longer because I'm explaining it to you all. So, that's that. Have a good day.